How many communities have you been involved with over your lifetime? What types? Well, communities offer connection. The depth of that connection depends on several different factors, one of which is the participation level of each individual within that community. Now, books, I believe, have an advantage. Books offer a tremendous opportunity to connect with others. And when you bring an author together with its readers, you can facilitate amazing connection. So on today's podcast, we're discussing your reader community, essentially how to go about building your tribe. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. So my co-founder, Annie Oswald, is the one that I learned the publishing business from when I first started at Franklin Covey. And then she had been in the business at that time for over 20 years and had a wealth of experience working in the book publishing industry and representing many of Franklin Covey's books to our partners, to the agents, and to the publishers. When I asked Annie about what it was like when The 7 Habits was out in the 90s, she would say, oh, it was amazing. She said she would get on planes and you would strike up a conversation with the person sitting next to you. And they would ask, well, where do you work? And she would say, Franklin Covey. And they would be like, wow, what is it like to work there? Because at that time, The 7 Habits was in its heyday. It still is essential and still sells a lot of books each week. Doesn't quite have the same gravitas that it used to. And so Annie would be able to easily connect with these readers and fans of The 7 Habits. And she wasn't even the author. But that just goes to show you that bringing readers together over a similar topic, and in this case, a book, can be extremely powerful. It offers an immediate connection point for people to build rapport and build that trust and relationship with each other. For you as authors, you need to build a community. A community provides that connection, and it's essential for authors to build because it's a way for you to connect and be better in tune with your readers and understand their needs, their challenges, their wants, so that when you write your next book or create your next content piece or create your next course or design your coaching or consulting, you'll know exactly how to better resonate with them. So I want to start with, how do you currently see communities? What communities are you currently involved in? When I think of my communities, I'm involved in my neighborhood community. I'm involved in my church community. I'm involved with my social media communities, the private Facebook groups I'm a part of, those who I'm connected with as followers, those that I'm commenting on. And each of those communities has a little bit stronger or looser boundaries to it. Some of the indirect communities I'm involved with are the ones that I'm on the email list for. I've gotten to know, to an extent, the individual sending me the emails or the company, and I understand who they are, what they represent, and I stay on the list because I hope that at some point they'll be offering something that's of value to me. So what other communities can you think of that you're involved in? And what's the level of involvement? What's the level of connection that you have with your community? My point is that there's all types of communities. So what type of community do you want to build? And I want to distinguish here, there's a difference between community and platform. So the types of communities that I see for authors to be able to build are ones that are content-based, that continue the content from your book, the content that you want to put out there, and the content that's based on your expertise. There's connection-based communities, ones where you want to bring certain individuals together within a community that have a common interest. There's networking communities. LinkedIn is probably one of the biggest networking communities out there, intended to be networking between careers, jobs, companies, and individuals looking to find jobs. Now, it has evolved beyond and past that, but it still is one of the strongest networking communities out there. There's learning-based communities. Do you want to create a community where people come together to continue to learn and grow on a specific topic? Now, each of these communities can have crossover. You may want a content and learning-based community, or one that brings networking as well as content and learning together. It can be a combination of all of those. But think about, what is the purpose and goal of the community that you want to build as an author? So now let's jump into the platform of your community. This is the means that you're getting out there. Now, oftentimes when I used to think of a community for authors, I would think of a private Facebook group or some type of group that you log into with a forum. It's formal, has lots of potentially bells and whistles, and a lot of ways for you to interact. Now, I'm sure for you as authors, that can feel potentially overwhelming, thinking, oh man, I have to build and maintain this, and what if it gets so much that it takes up all my time? Pause right there. You do not need a community that's as robust as a private Facebook group, for example. You can have something as simple as an email list. You can have something as simple as getting together once a month over a Zoom call. So think about what type of community that you want to have and what platform do you want to facilitate that on. And that can be highly driven by your readers, because are they the type of individuals who would value coming together over videos, or do they just want to be on an email list and get together every so often, whether online or offline? Or do they want a thriving community with a chat where people can ask questions and other community members can answer those questions? Whatever it is, when you get clear on the purpose for your community, that will help drive the type and the platform that you're going to use. If you're at the beginning and you say, I want to build a community, what do you need to be thinking about? Well, first you need to think about, what do you want to offer to your readers within this community? What's the additional value that they're going to get outside of your book, or if you already have an email newsletter or some other means of them that's already engaging with you? And then think about, how active do you need to be when starting this community? Now, I'm always an advocate for as much control as possible over your community. Facebook and other social media groups are great, but you have a lower amount of control. If they make a change in their algorithm, if they make a change in how many people within your group, even if they wanted to be in your group, see a post, then you may not be reaching as many people as you think. You could have 1,000 people in your group, but only 10% of people on average see the post that you've put out there each day, because of how the algorithm works, and it mixes in all the other groups they're involved in, as well as their friends feed and everything else. So the nice thing with things such as an email list, you have higher control, or if you have your own platform that you can have people log into, then you have a higher degree control. So make sure you stop and consider the trade-offs of each potential platform. Make sure you think about what this community provides for you. I love that authors and others want to put out their community to share their ideas, but you are putting in the work, the time, the effort, and you need to understand, what does this provide for you? Does it give you feedback? Gives you greater access to your readers? You're better able to recognize your impact. And one of my favorites is, you're actually connecting with those who are buying your book, because oftentimes you do not know who those individuals are. And the more you can find out about those individuals, what they liked, what they didn't like, how you can improve. You may also consider charging to be in your community, a monthly or yearly fee. That does help sift out the individuals who aren't serious. You really know who you want to engage with and what will be the most value of your time and those individuals' times. Your action item today is to take 10 minutes and think about, what type of community could I build as an author? What do I have the desire to do? What do I have the time to do? And what do I have the budget to do? It's something that takes work, especially for new authors and if you're starting a new community. But the dividends with that continued effort to build that community will be huge as you continue down your author journey. So thanks for joining today. Be sure to check out our author model assessment that has newly launched. Go to juxtabook.com and you'll see the button right on the homepage to be able to take that author model assessment. Be sure to rate and review our podcast if you haven't already. We'd like to know what our listeners think, what we could do better and improve on, and what valuable content that you do like that we're already producing, so that we can produce more for you. And on next week's podcast, I'll be talking about, can a self-published book become a New York Times bestseller? Tune in to understand the intricacies of the New York Times bestseller list and what is possible. Thanks for listening. Go out there, dust off your manuscript, and turn it into a bestseller that grows your business and your impact.